Hello friends, welcome to Java Swing tutorial. In this video and in the next 6 videos, we are going to learn about JList and how to perform drag and drop operation on the JList. People will call this a drag and drop, in short form as a D&D. So we will learn the basics here in this video. We will learn drag source and how move and copy is related to drag source, whereas drop modes of selection, on, insert and down are related to the drop target. So let us consider that we have 2 JLists and each contains 3 items. We will also assume that each JList is a multi-select JList. Okay, in this let's consider these 2 JList as a single select JList. First you will select an item, then you will drag and drop it here. We will assume like that. So in this case, if you see, the first list is called D&D source and second one is what called D&D target. So people will also call this as a drag source and drop target. So it depends on where the selection happens and where the mouse drag ends by dropping that selected item. So that defines drag source and drop target. Let's say we selected item T1 here and moved it to JList 1. So then JList 2 becomes the D&D source and JList 1 becomes D&D target. When we talk about D&D source, there are 2 options that comes into picture. One is move and other one is copy. So let's state that you selected item S2 here and then you moved and you released the mouse here. Here item is selected, mouse left button is pressed, mouse is moved and mouse left button is released. So in this case the default is what called move. So the item S2 will get moved from JList 1 to JList 2. So what happens in case of move operation, the item S2 will be removed from the drag source or D&D source. So to perform copy operation, you have to press down the Control key in the keyboard. Then you should perform the same operation. Let's say we selected S3 item here. So previously we moved here, right? So the item T3 will be replaced by S2 and S2 will be removed from the drag source and it is dropped to destination. That means D&D target. S2 will be here. So now this time we are performing the the copy operation by making use of the Control key. Now let us say that we selected the S3 item here and we are performing the copy operation by pressing the Control key. So what happens, the item S3 will not get removed from the D&D source, but it still get dropped to the destination S3. So this is what called a copy operation. So in move, the item will be removed from drag and D&D source, I mean in the drag source, and in copy the item will get copied. That means it will not get removed from the source. So when we talk about the drop target, there are 4 styles here. One is selection, second one is on, third one is insert, fourth one is on insert. Let's say that we have source here and target is here. We will also assume a 3 item T1, T2 and T3. Here we will assume 3 item source 1, source 2 and source 3. So we will also assume that we are using the selection mode here. So before performing the drag and drop, let us assume that item T1 is in selected state here and item S2 is dragged and dropped here at T3. So with the selection mode, what happens, the selection here T1 will get removed. So let's say this is a copy operation. Item T3 will be replaced by S3, and this selection, there is no item that get selected here. The very first item was selected previously, right, before the drag and drop. That item is now deselected. That means the selection is gone. So now let us do the same thing for the second mode. That means at this time the drop mode. So we will call all these options as drop modes. So when the mode is drop mode is on mode, what happens? The item T1 will still in a selected state, and the drag and drop item will get replaced. So if it is a copy, we will consider copy operation for all these 4. So the item get copied here. In case of insert mode, what happens? You can insert item between let's say the current items are the same T1, T2 and T3. You can insert item between any of these 3. But you can't replace any item, but you can insert any item between T1 and T2 or T2 and T3 or before T1 or after T3. Either here or this lat that's in between. So that's what called the insert option. And on insert, what we can do, we can select specific item and we can replace it. So this is same insert option, but you can replace the item with the on insert. So these are all the drop modes. So when we go through the example, we will understand these drop modes as well as the basic operation of move and copy through D&D. So JText field, we just enabled the drag and drop by making call to set drag enabled to true. But in JList, it requires some extra work, and we will see how to implement a drag and drop between 2 JList in the next 6 videos. So there is no demo here in this video. We just learned the basics of drag and drop between 2 JList. That's all here in this video. Thank you for watching. Bye.